and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call to order the Lamar City Council regular meeting for August 15, 2023. Start with roll call.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Donlin.
Here.
Wick.
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes.
Bruns.
Present.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to the citizen discussion. Any citizens in the audience that would like to bring up something to council, please step up to the microphone. Seeing nobody rush up here, we'll move on to the thumbs up award. Let's start on this end. Mark.
Pass.
Steve.
I have a few. Number one, to the chamber for their golf outing. We had a great time and it was well done, and I appreciated the early starting time to get me home a little earlier. Number two is the Campbell's Landscaping and the work they're doing on that building on the corner that they purchased is awesome. Looks great. And number three is the Community Theater's production of Beauty and the Beast and their work and what they've done, and that was awesome. Again, they put out great shows, and that was a neat one to see with a lot of young people all the way through the older people, and well received, I think. So those are mine.
I agree with those three. They don't have any other than that. So Clark.
I'm good.
Brian.
Thumbs up to the K-9 trials you guys had. I had a lot of people asking why there were so many cops in town from other areas. Looked like it was well attended.
It was.
Mike? I forgot about the K-9 trials, but I did attend. I went for about 20 minutes. It was very cool to see. So I do not want to ever be chased by a police K-9. That was deterrent enough. Okay, moving on to consent items. We've got an approval of the August 1st, 2023 regular meeting minutes, a list of bills for period ending 8/11/23, monthly financial statement for July of 23, 3 temporary premise transfers of liquor licenses to the KCs, and an amendment for an outdoor service area to Wise Eye and Four Brothers. We've got an urban revitalization tax exemption request, some surplus property, a request to close street for the Olson Colch Concert Bash, a request to close the street for Wise Eye, and a request to close the street for Four Brothers.
Any questions on any of them? The closures, 3 closures, timing wise, we should be okay. I was gonna get to it at the end, but we have been notified by the DOT that the rail crossing will start next Monday, so that detour will go into effect.
Okay.
To use First Street. But according to their contracted working days, it should not affect
It's part of the top part.
the Olson, that event. It shouldn't affect that, unless we get a lot of rain and they can't work.
If it does, those events are aware that we won't be able to.
Yeah, yeah, they've been notified.
Motion to approve consent items 1 through 9.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All this road work going on, I'm gonna need a helicopter to get around here. pretty soon.
Motion to not give the mayor a helicopter.
I don't blame them. Okay, moving on to action items. Parks and Rec Committee Ordinance. So on the August 1st, 2023 meeting, City Council approved the first reading to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances by adding Chapter 25, Parks and Recreation Committee. The committee will advise the council on current and needed facilities to provide open space such as parks, playgrounds, recreational facilities, and other forms of recreational opportunities. Administration recommends council gives approval to the second reading.
Nothing was changed in the ordinance from the first reading.
Motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 981 to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances by adding chapter 25 Parks and Recreation Committee.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? That will proceed with roll call.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Donlin.
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes.
Wick.
Yes.
Bruns.
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to the reverse osmosis design agreement. So, over the last 18 months, 3 companies performed pilot studies for a full-scale reverse osmosis system to be added to our water treatment process. Based on the results of the pilot studies, McClure Engineering is recommending the Desalatech system. Desalatech system? Desalatech system. The city has received a proposal from Desalatech to design their full-scale system for the plant. This will allow McClure to coordinate the rest of the design of the plant around Desalatech's equipment. It should make it much easier for contractors bidding on the project and should result in a better bid as all the design features will be coordinated beforehand. Administration and McClure Engineering are recommending that the council approve the design agreement with Desalatech.
Michael is here, and Rich, I guess. You guys have questions?
Yeah, Michael Washburn, McClure Engineering. As council's aware, we're in the final design stages of the new water treatment plant. And for us to finish the design, we're recommending we move forward with Desalatech as the basis of the design. What that means is once the project goes out to bid to contractors, all of the general contractors have to include the Desalatech equipment in their bid, okay? It doesn't preclude other systems from potentially bidding as a substitute, but in order to bid as a substitute, they have to do as much upfront testing and design as what Desalatech has done. But the only thing with that is Desalatech, based on the systems we tested, is the only system that can operate at 90% recovery. Okay, what that is going to result for the city is lower operational costs. It's going to save about 150,000 gallons of water per day. The other systems were only able to operate at 85%. Okay, so that's why we're recommending Desalatech, is because they can offer a higher recovery, and they are offering a 90% guarantee. So that was one thing we asked for, so they're offering that guarantee, and that's just going to result in less water that's wasted, less chemicals that have to be fed, less electrical costs. So the operational costs to operate the system are going to be lower compared to other systems. The reason we want to do this engineering agreement now with them is so that they can design their system, their equipment, and then we can design the plant around the equipment. And that should help the generals who are bidding provide a better bid, and should reduce the risk of change orders during construction with unknown things that happen. So it's really just being proactive, getting them to design the equipment, and we can build the plant around their equipment.
Where's the agreement?
On my desk.
Okay.
There's a lot of,
I haven't seen the agreement yet, that's the only.
well, it's,
Sure, I have a copy.
yes, you can look at it, but it's
Yeah,
not
they're-
included here because
Right.
of design specifications.
Okay.
Sure.
So with that guarantee of 90%, what happens if it doesn't make 90%?
There are provisions where they have to, well, first they would have the right to come to the plant and operate it and try and fix it to make it operate at 90%. If that doesn't work, then really it's a legal question of they're on the hook for, probably the operational costs that, that we thought we would see, that now we have to, spend the money to operate it.
That's one of the reasons we did the pilot studies though, so that we could have some confidence that this thing can deliver, because it's new tech.
this one's treating the raw water?
Yes, right from the wells, correct. And then we're gonna continue to use your current plant to treat the blend water. Because not all the water is gonna go through this system.
Right.
You know, roughly 75–80% will go through this system. That 15 to 20% will then be bypassed around and go through the existing plant. And then the two will be blended together.
Because we're so shooting for what hardness reduction? I mean, at the.
Right now, you're at like
Yeah.
35
Right.
grains. We're gonna be down to 7.
7.
Yeah. 7 to 8.
That's a good thing. I do think Mike brings up a pretty good, I do want him to see the agreement.
Sure.
Before we get 100% approval, but I think pending that approval, I would be good with it. But I do think you should see that. So is that a motion? So that, yeah, I will make a motion to approve the agreement to design the reverse osmosis equipment with Decelotech for $150,000 after Mike Murphy gives his blessing to the agreement that's written.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll open it up. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a deadline on that by chance? I mean, like, once it goes to them, do they got 15 days, 22 days, 600 days?
That's a great question.
I mean, I would assume it'd be about 6 months. Would be my guess.
It's 12 weeks. So they have 12 weeks to finish their design, so 3 months.
3 months, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Michael, do you have an updated schedule by chance? Do you guys have that? Can you give them an idea of what it's
Sure.
going to be?
So the schedule we're on, first is we have to submit the design, the final design to the state for approval. So we're planning to submit that in December. The state will probably take a month or two to review the design and issue a permit. And then at that point, we'd like to go out for bids, you know, probably February, March of next year.
24.
24, yep.
And so, keep going.
And then, it's 2 years to get the plant online. Okay, so you're talking spring of 2026, you know, assuming things go well, which we hope they do, but yeah, 2 years to get the plant online, and then probably another 6 months after that for final punch list and close out. So, you know, you're gonna have a contractor there till the end of 2026, finishing it up.
Will this be the first time that the state officials have seen the Decelotech design?
This will be the second.
Good.
First one was in Huxley, Iowa. So this is the second.
So it won't be totally
Nope, not totally.
new.
And I know this is, I don't want to get down too long in the running trail, but we've talked about water rate adjustments. When, Jacob, are we looking, I mean, what are we looking at to start water rate adjustments to start paying for?
I think we talked about once we start incurring
Costs. So when we purchase equipment, we'll have to look at, okay?
Yeah,
'Cause that's part of this deal, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be stepped.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have to issue some bonds, probably once we get some bids in, so we have some cash to pay expenses.
Gotcha, okay.
We will need to look at the top tier of water rates, because Jacob and me have talked, the top tier is probably going to be adjusted before then, like next year.
Okay. Move on? All right, thank you. Okay, moving on to action item number 3. The city has received a building permit for a home on Lot 1 of Majestic View Addition. The site plan shows a portion of the home being constructed in a 10-foot utility and drainage easement. The final plat is attached showing the easement. Also attached is an aerial of the area showing Lot 1 and the area to the north. Both pieces of property are owned by the same individual. Due to the ownership of both lots and proposed grading and landscaping, the easement is not needed. If Administration recommends council proceed to a public hearing to vacate the easement. The easement is not needed for utilities or drainage.
Okay, so hopefully I provided enough information in there for you guys to get a picture of what's happening out there. The first page and the third page show where the current easement is. The last page actually shows where the structure is going. So if anybody's been out there, we all know where it's at, and seeing what kind of grading is occurring out there to this house. There are no utilities. This easement won't be used for drainage because the lot has changed, so the water is not going to be confined to this easement. So that's why there's a suggestion to vacate the easement.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2336, establishing September 5th, 2023 at 12 p.m. as a public hearing to vacate a 10-foot utility and drainage easement on Lot 1, Majestic View Addition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a curiosity, just so I'm clear on this, so because of the grade in the new plan for this, that is taking away the need for the original thought of an easement because it was a drainage easement, correct?
Yes.
So are we vacating the whole thing or just the amount of the easement that's needed?
Just the amount that stretches from east to west on this lot.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay.
Dan, would you proceed with roll call, please?
Wick,
Yes.
Donlin,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to action item number 4, annexation. Attached are several documents as follows. Number 1, 3 applications for voluntary annexation from Dave and Marilyn Palmer, Russell Martfeld, and the city of Lamar's. And number 2, aerial maps of each area proposed to be annexed. The city has executed annexation agreements with the private property owners. A consultation meeting is scheduled for August 23rd, 2023 with the Plymouth County Supervisors. And hearing notices must be sent to each affected public utility, Board of Supervisors, the county attorney, solid waste collection providers, and each adjoining property owner. Administration recommends council proceed to public hearing.
Okay, so any questions on these properties? The reason, maybe I could explain a little bit. The last property is the 200 odd acres we bought for South Industrial expansion. We're bringing in with this annexation 4 of the 6 sections. And the reason for going to the southeast border next to, that's Derek Kellen, that lives down there on C-38, is because right in that corner, that's where our well 15 is proposed to go. So that's why we're capturing all the way down to C-38.
And then if we annex those items, it creates an island, I guess?
If we were to continue down, I don't know if we're prepared yet to undertake what that battle might be, to do all of those sections. So right now, there is no current need to do it, so let's leave it as it is. Yeah, but the 2, if your question, Rob, was, or your comment was towards the Palmer and the Martville properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to bring them in because of what we're doing on the south side.
Because of what creates an island, right?
27th
Right.
Street.
Then I would make a motion establishing October 3, 2023 at 12 p.m. as the date and time for public hearing on voluntary annexation of certain lands south of the current city limits.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I just have one question. Are they already on city sewer, or if not, will they have to be at this point?
According to the agreement, they do not need to, currently they're not, neither one is. And according to the agreements, they do not have to hook up immediately. Because they have functioning.
Phase in, and then when they fail, then we'll hook them up. So it's the same thing we've done in some other areas.
All right. No roll call needed? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion items, Jason.
Just a few things. The alley, if you notice, the paving is complete. It's not open yet, because there's a delay in, the joint sealing, contractor coming to seal the joints. So we'll keep it closed. Hopefully that's this week that gets done. Didn't want to open it up and allow access and all the garbage dumpsters and everything else to get back in there to make sealing harder. So that's why barricades are still up. Plus we have some asphalt to put in there to match the height of the new concrete spot. So that needs to be done. That'll be done by our crews. The water main